Do you like art journaling, painting, assemblage, collage and more? Then you come to the right place. I'm Bea Grob and I love to inspire you. Hey everybody, welcome back to my studio. So glad you joined me today again for another video collaboration. It is for the Artsy Trio. We do it every last Wednesday a month. We provide you with a video, Gina B. Orans, Mike Deacon and myself, on a given mood board. Each one of us is responsible for once every 3 months for a mood board. So this time it was my responsibility and it is titled Moody November. It is mostly in reddish and vintage brownish colors, just to represent the November a little bit. And we do actually post it the month before, at the end the month before, so you have a whole month time to work on that mood board. And if you are interested, you can join the Facebook group where you can grab this mood board and where you can post whatever you came up with. Now, it can be an art journal page, it can be an ATC, it can be a card, whatever you feel like. We just want to give you some inspiration and with a color combination with items that speaks to you. It's totally up to you. Now for myself this month, I decided it's not going to be an art journal page nor a card nor nothing. I'm going to do a journal in kind of this moody colors for a little bit of a change, not doing all the time art journal pages for this group. So the way I go about that, I do grab a lot of stuff and on my table and see what I want to do. Now, but it's a little bit special about this journal. I did make collage papers specifically for this journal. Now, and I did print it on different substrates. Now, I did start with some self-adhesive labels. Those are those labels where you just have a little piece of it, like that's the size of such a label. So it gives you random pieces of a page. That's one of those. I think that's also one of those. And then I started printing them on the whole sheets of self-adhesive labels. So that's a whole page. And I did it because I want to cut out those pieces and use it as individual embellishment pieces. So as you can see, there is also some art of myself, which I have. I did some drawings for some sewing items, some number labels, yeah, pieces from my art that are actually misprint because I didn't grab the right paper. But I'm probably going to use it on some tags. And that again is the same, just I wanted to be on the safe side. I have enough of those things. But then I started, for the pages itself, I started printing on a Canon photo matte paper, which is a little bit of a sturdier paper. And I just go around quickly to telling you what it is. Now, here you can find a piece of an old map. And by the way, I live somewhere in this area. Over here is just covered up from the stencil I have used on our background. So it's my background and it is an old map, probably from the 70s last year, which I have used as one page. And I did leave the page on the back empty because if I work in journals, I like the variety of already done backgrounds and empty backgrounds. But if you don't like that, you actually could print it double-sided. That's totally up to you. Then we have some more plain backgrounds. Those are just some jelly prints, which I did alter in color in Photoshop. This is an old graph paper, which I just took a photo and then turned it into a collage paper. Those are watercolor stripes I did paint at one point. And then I altered it in the color-wise, and I have a different background below also. So I did combine those stripes and the background I had. I also made some lined papers with some sketches of myself, not of myself, which I did myself. And that's actually the same thing here. And then I have here an arrangement of different fabrics, laces, and some... I have a piece of a pergament paper which is written on, and I did combine those things in a Photoshop collage. Here again, it's a Photoshop collage from some old letters. I have a whole bunch of old letters and old embellishment things. And the background is actually a diary from my grandma, which I have used. Liebe, whatever, I can't read it no longer. It's too faint. Some of them I did print twice because I have the plan to make tags from it also. And that's again, that's a combination of some of my jelly prints, again the diary from my grandma. These were actually roses from my garden. A moth I have in an old dictionary, and that's from an old vintage sewing book. That's again the lined papers. That's a background, a crackled background I had at one point, and those are actually from some watercolor fishes I made. Here again I have a background, probably a jelly print background, but then I did add a second layer with some of my paintings. Maybe you have seen this painting, just little bits of this painting, and this is an old La Mode Illustrée. Is an old fashion magazine in French from around 1880, something like that. That are my own collage papers. And here I do have some scrapbook papers which I plan to use. They are actually from the Somerset, those free papers they give you. And then I have some jelly prints I want to use. In this journal I do have bits and pieces from old books. I do have laces, fabric, there's more laces here. And I also do have different types of washi tapes. Not sure what, I'm probably not going to use everything, but I want to have a selection when I'm working on things. What I also have here on the side are two die cuts, one with tabs, which I want to make, and one with little tags. Now, as always, the video going to be in time-lapse, and I'm going to do a little bit of voiceover in some points, but I'm really going to speed it up because it's quite a process. And maybe I'm going to leave out some parts when I cut out things or things like that. Now, I hope you enjoyed this month's video, and don't forget, go down below in the description to find out what Gina and Mike came up with this mood board. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.